There are 3 basic rules to using the portal gun effectively. Always know which color you have, always have a portal in between you and the opponent, and stay grounded, aka feet. Slightly a joke, but we'll get into that in a second. The first rule is kind of a given, so I won't be going over that, but the second rule, always have a portal in between you and the opponent. That will always help. In fact, right now, I would have won if I had instant KOs on. But it helps because it forces your opponent to either go and take damage or jump over your portal, causing you to be able to just shoot another portal at their landing. Which brings us to the third step, which is stay grounded, aka feet. And now the reason why this makes sense is because you never want to jump with the portal gun. If you're in the air, you're kind of just stranded because there's nothing for the portal to stop on. That is the thing with the portal gun. It stops in midair, but only after a certain amount of time. If you want an instant portal, you have to shoot a surface. So the way that feet play into this is because you always want to shoot at the opponent's feet or your own feet for the most instantaneous portal and teleport. It's good for movement, and it's also good just for shooting and getting damage. However, every once in a while, it's pretty good to shoot a portal slightly above ground, so you only do a one-way teleport. Now that we went over the basic rules, we can get on to the tips and tricks and the strats of the portal gun. One is portal refresh/replace, next one is portal loops, and the third one is probably my most favorite, portal defense. Portal refreshing is whenever you shoot through your own portal to set another portal, either around it or right on it again, so you don't have to walk all the way over there to replace it, therefore refreshing the portal. Portals last for about 8 seconds, so it's good to keep them refreshing so you can keep control over the map space. Shooting your own portals can also cause you to shoot portals farther away than intended. You can also shoot a portal you're about to walk through so that way they're all grouped up, so when the next time you shoot your opponent, they're not spawned really far away. You always want to refresh portals too in case you get a map that moves, so that way the portals are out in the open for the enemy to walk through. You also want it to be out in the open so that the enemy can either fall from it or teleport through it again, allowing you to get more damage in. But if used right, moving maps with the portal gun can be a deadly combo. Next up is portal loops. Portal loops are one of the most effective ways to get damage and stay safe at the same exact time, because your opponent just keeps, well, looping. Many would argue the hardest part about looping is the setup. The best way I could put it is to purposely shoot behind and then purposely shoot in front of them, and then they will continuously walk in it. But this will only really work with the CPUs, because if you're versing a person, they would jump out of the loop like a smart person would. However, we already discussed that if the person jumps, you can already shoot another portal wherever they're going to land, so it's still a very good strat, regardless of who you're versing. The last strip is portal defense. Portal defense is when you place a portal on either side of you and stay in between them, giving you a defensive barrier as I would see it, because anything that goes through a portal goes out the other side, including lots of projectiles. The reason this one is my favorite is because you get to stand there while the other person just sits there and struggles to hit you at all, because they next to can't. Now we're going to talk about 2 sub-tips, I guess you can call them, because they weren't exactly big enough to get their own number. One sub-tip is the infinite falling technique. This sub-tip is mostly for maps that usually have no floor by the end of the match, so if you don't want to die before the other person, you can just create the falling technique. The second sub-tip is if somebody's about to fall on you, just shoot the floor because you'll instantly move and then you won't take any damage while they take damage from the portal they presumably are still in. Well, that's the end of the video. Let me know if there's any tips that I missed or anything that you guys may know that I don't, because I may not know everything. So, there we go. Yeah.